Hello and welcome. So I'm going to have a go at the Times Cryptic, which has been published on Saturday the 7th of September 2024. So this has been set by Felix. I think Felix normally has what you call a Nina or a theme to his crosswords. I can never spot them, but sometimes they're really obscure things, like some band from the 1970s songs, or some TV program I've never watched. Sometimes they can be fun and a bit more obvious. I doubt I will spot it. I don't think there's a lot more to say about this one really. I'm just going to reset the timer and crack on. More compassionate family, visibly embarrassed, retreated. I think that's at the end. Something more compassionate. Kinda? Kin. Family. Kinder. Yep. Small camera initially reveals people on patrol. Scouts is outs for reveal. I think people on patrol are scouts. Bahraini travelling around east, having revealed an error in Ireland once. Oh, so that's an anagram of Bahraini, I suppose. Is it? No. Yeah. Was that a hidden word? Don't know. Failed to answer question, but go through. I think that's pass, isn't it? Prayer lead one's meeting before noon. One's meeting before noon. I'm am. I think it's an I'm am. AM. I'm am. I don't know what meeting's M for. Favourites look furtively back to see what marching band must do. Favourites step. Look furtively back. Step. Marching band must be step. Pets. Some brambles tore Ruth's one stocking. There should be a hidden word in there somewhere, but store. Can't see that. Come back to that one. It's probably there somewhere. Blesto. Firmly maintain it's wrong to admit mortal sin. It's wrong to admit mortal sin. So that implies it's an anagram of its, but firmly maintain. Mortal sin. Can't think what mortal sin is other than the 7 deadly sins. One who has deserted a post office, say. Post office is a branch. Deserter. One who has deserted a post office, say. Valley seeing return of English youth. That's a Dale, isn't it? Lad and an E. No hawk swooped in America. No hawk swooped in America. How tithe gets distributed, making you intensely passionate. Okay, so that's an anagram of how tithe, isn't it? Oh, I'd forgotten Felix has some really good anagrams. Quite often they're hard to spot. Now that one isn't hard to spot. Hot. Something hot, I would think. Which makes that withy. Is that hot? With E. What's with E? I don't know. Need to probably take that out then. Not so fair. Challenger trapping king. Not so fair. So king could be K or R. Not so fair would be challenger rival. Don't think so. Reduce amount of education we hear. To reduce lesson. So that's lessen, I think, to reduce. Girl in Isle of Man's peculiar way of speaking. Girl in Isle of Man, so peculiar way of speaking, idiom. Is that right? I die in Isle of Man, yeah. Fantasist rearmed for exchanges. Yeah, rearmed. Managed to flee. Manage. Run. Run or ran. Run. Drink with cider or a nip of something poisonous. Drink with cider. That could be an anagram somewhere. Don't know. Colleagues filling shop, possibly. Colleagues filling shop, possibly. Is that oppos? Colleagues, oppos? Not sure. Put an S there just in case it's oppos. As a hidden word. Samples last of fragrant flowers. So T. Flowers or flowers. Samples, tests, tastes, tasters. tasters and asters. Okay. Oh, is that step? Maybe the second word step there. Favourites looks vertically back to see what marching band must do. I mean, you have to keep it. Marching band has to stay in step, doesn't it? Play in step. Play step. Step play? I don't know. A worker confused. A worker confused about an old conflict. That's surely some kind of war. A worker confused about an. So what's that like? War leaves me Kero an, but no S, because I don't think that is S now. I've taken mine out. I think the second word's step. Kero and Korean War. Korean War. There we are. Korean War. Odd bits from that. What's that? Keep step. That must be, mustn't it? Keep step. Let's come back and look at that properly in a minute. Keep step. Favourites look furtively back. Peek. Yep, peek is that. I think that's Oppo's. Colleagues filling shop, possibly. I think that's an I'm going to put it because I don't know what else it can be, really. Drink with cider or a nip of something poisonous. I can't think we drink. Snake bite. I can drink. Gosh, that's an old drink that no one has anymore, I think. That looks interesting at 8 across. One has, where am I? Career War. Odd bits from that. Poison chaps pudding ingredient. P-I-O. Piacas. Tapioca? Tapioca, I think that is. I think that's T-A-P-I-O-K. Yeah, wow, that's a set of alternate letters, isn't it? Melancholy of elite troops holding post up. Elite troops would be SAS, I assume. Sorry, I could just hear some cats wailing. I don't know if you can hear that. Melancholy. Holding elite troops holding post up. Rod. Utter chaos at the end before climax. Utter. To say. Chaos at the end before climax. I'm going to come back to that. Going places east for free. Going places. Leave. Places east. E. Going places for free. Can't think what that is. Bad to leave without wife. Bad. Leave without wife. Bad to leave without wife. I'm beginning to wonder if this is lesson. Reduce is to lessen. Amount of education is a lesson. And we here is saying it's a thingy. Sound like. Okay. Bahraini, travelling around east, there's my east. Having rejected an area, so take out an A. Oh my word. Which leaves me. I'm going to have to write down Bahraini because I can't. Bahraini. Going around an E, so I've got an N. Got an I. I've got an A. Got the E from that. B-H-I. B-H-R-I, I think, is what I could put in there. Hibernia, okay. Hibernia. Whew, that's a bum. Okay, that must be. I mean, that looks like Stora. I can only see one stocking, Stora. Never heard of it, but fair enough. I think it looks like it's hidden. Finally, maintain it's wrong. I mean, I think that's IST. It's wrong to admit mortal sin. Firmly maintain is to. Mortal sin. Pride, envy, rage, avarice, greed. I can't think what mortal sin is at this moment. It's wrong. I think that's it's, or maybe the T's there. One who has deserted a post office, say. One who has deserted a post office, don't know. No hawk swooped in America. And that looks like US. But then maybe it's just saying it's a word that means swooped in America. No hawk. No idea what that clue wants me to do, really. How tithe, oh gosh, here we go. How tithe gets distributed, making you, Lou, intensely passionate. Well, I kind of thought it was, see, that still fits my theory that it's a hot. That'd be going, that's free as loose, isn't it? Going places, loose. East is E. Going places, loose. For free, loose. Lose. Oh, going places, yeah. Places you go in, go to the toilet, as in. How tithe gets distributed. So I've got hot, W, which means an ITHE. Means I can't have an SAS there. Melancholy of elite troops holding post up. Post feels like it's rod. Post up, but then that's going upwards, isn't it? Am I just being my usual white hot? There we are. This must be bad to leave, ill with will. That must be something less, mustn't it? Elite troops holding post up. Rodless? I don't think rodless is a word, is it? But I think that's melancholy. Sadness, I suppose. What is that? Sadness, I don't know. SAS, holding post, send. Okay, yep. So I'm going to take that out for now. Come back over here. No idea about that one. That one, not so fair. Challenger holding king, so I need a K or an R. Let's put a K there and see what this gives us here. Utter chaos at the end before climax. Utter chaos at the end before climax. Utter is to say. It also means utter, total and utter, so it could be like, I can't think we call it a qualifier. Yeah, it's very this, very that. Chaos at the end would be an S. Before climax is the end. No, climax is not so fair. Challenger trapping king. I mean, I think that's a simple clue. So there's got to be, well, you'd think there's another R in there, wouldn't you? Challenger, rival. That must be insist, mustn't it? Ah, mortal sin being an anagram of sin. Fair enough. Insist with IST. This is the one I need to get, really. One who has deserted a post office, say. That's all I can say is a post office. One who has deserted. What's a deserter? I'm just looking over the clues at the top now. Kinder scouts. See if there's some kind of obvious kind of connection that might be able to use on some of these other clues. And I think the answer is no, there aren't. I mean, store at insist looks like a very dodgy pair of words, which makes me think that's part of whatever the whatever's going on is. Because there will be if it's Felix, I think. And Hibernia is not a word you come across a lot, so that would also be. One who's this clue, I don't feel I know what to do with this clue at all. In America would be USA. Swooped in America. No hawk. I mean, I don't really know what I'm... Unless I'm looking for an answer that is in America, place in America. But no hawk swoop just doesn't seem like much of a clue to me. Not so fair is... it's going to be an ER, isn't it, really? Not so fair is... harder? Hader? Is a Hader a challenger? Not so fair. Darker. Darer. Darker and darer. There we are. Wow. Okay. Utter chaos at the end before climax. Climax is peak. Speak. Speak for utter. And a peak is a... Yeah. It's a climax. Blah, no hawks. Oh, gosh knows what I'm going to do there. What's this? Posty. One who has deserted. A post office say. So I think a post office say suggests it's whatever a post office is a type of, which is a village store say. Just check Korean War. Got two N's, two A's, an E to get rid of, I think. So Korean War, I'm pretty certain to spell that correctly. Apposite. App. One who has deserted. A village short village a post office say a passage, a postal, or a... I mean, you can't use the word post again, can you? And then office say. So again, say is telling us it's an example, or I'm still saying the same thing. No hawk swooped in America. Makes me think there's an... I keep looking at that thinking there's a hidden word, or reverse hidden word. Oped. ED. Oop. Oopy. I don't think that's a hidden word, is it? In America. I mean, no. I would have thought it's no. But then what can I put there? Hawk swooped in America. Which makes me think it's a T. Oh, the only word I think of to go in there is a T for note. There's lots of words that will fit O something E. Tall. Saw. I could be here for a long time trying to go through those. This one though, let's at least get this one. One who has deserted a post office. Say. What can go there? Can't be that. A. Could be an A. Up. Ip. Possible. Oh, excuse me. Op. I'd like to be double P. LP. K. Oh golly. KP. JP. HPGP. SP is possible. S. X. CP. VB. NM. So there's a few possibilities, mostly vowels. Spose. Spas. Spice. Episage. I feel like A is the correct one though, because there's an A in the clue. A. Post. Office. Say. So at this moment it looks like I'm headed for my fifth fail of the week. One who has deserted. I mean, there's no anagram there, is there? Is that snakebite? Drink with cider? Yeah, drink with cider is snakebite, so snakebite, and I can't remember what you used to put with cider actually. Was it just a normal pint, I think? A nip or something. It has to be snakebite. It has to be Korean War. That has to be speak. Tapioca. I mean, all the letters are right up to that point. What can I put in here? Space. something space, appospace, pace, dace. I mean, I'm not very happy with this crossword because you've got Stora, I've never heard of, Oppos, not very happy with. Hibernia, dug out a bit. So there's a lot there that's not much fun, I would say. Oh, what's this? Appospace. I wonder if it's that A post office. I'm putting office as space. APO, A post office, and then an example of a office. No, hang on, just say apostate. There we are. That's the answer. Apostate. So what is this? No hawk swooped in America. Could be anything. Going to roll, hole, pole. No real feel for what that is. What's a hawk? Let me just think. Swooped in America, is that so? Just wondering if I'm meant to be doing some kind of sound alike. Can't see anything to indicate a sound like other than swooped in America. In America maybe means it's an American version of this word. Swooped, dive. But then I really can't see what no hawk is trying to get me to. I mean, there's just so many words that will fit there. War. I mean, it could be war. W-R-E. No hawk. It's not an anagram of hawk. Swooped has got an O and an E in it, in which case you're looking at oopie. Ooze. What about ooze? Swooped. Ooze. Would ooze work? Use. US. Ooze. No hawk. Hawk. No sale. If you hawk things, you're selling them. Just looking around the edges of the grid at these letters here to see if there's anything spelt down here before I chucking at you, if there's anything to help me out there, which basically there isn't. Nothing hidden away in there. So, yeah, well, what I'm going to do at this point actually is just check the rest of the grid, because, you know, if I've got that wrong, which I haven't, there's no point in spending loads of time on this. What about lose? As in love? No. Hawk swooped. Lose, love. Nose. Yeah, there's not an abbreviation, there's not taking out letters. Note, nose. There are so many words that can fit there. Just giving it a few more seconds, minute or so, just see if I can really come up with anything that suddenly clicks and go, oh, that's what it meant. Because it probably will be really obvious when I see it, but dove. Hey, well that wasn't. That was well, yeah. I don't really know what to say about that one. Well, I'm very very happy to do that because that just suddenly occurred to me. Dove for swooped. Right, I'm going to go through that crossword as best as I can, try and see what's going on. I mean, you go from this clue, which is fairly relatively easy, I think. So, more compassionate is kinder. Family is kin, and visibly embarrassed is red, and that's retreating, so I put red backwards to get to kinder. That's a nice easy clue, really. This one, small camera, so small is S, camera initially is C, and then reveals is outs. People on patrol are scouts, so that's not so nice because outs for reveals is not easy to think of, but people on patrol as scouts is okay. The next one, Bahraini travelling around east, having rejected an area, and in Ireland once. So Hibernia is an area of Hibernia is an area of Ireland at some time in the past. We've got an anagram of Bahraini with an E in it, but we also need to take out one of the A's. Wow. Excuse me. Failed to answer questions. So back in the days of Mastermind on TV, I think that's still on actually. If you don't know answer question, you say pass. But if you go through a test, you still pass, don't you? Pass the test. So that kind of explains that one. That's a nice double cryptic. Prayer leader is an imam. One's meeting before noon. Now, before noon is AM, the morning. One is I. Meeting for abbreviated to I. Okay, one's meeting for noon. Okay, so one's is I am, and then meeting. Meeting is just surplus to requirements here, and before noon, am. Favourites look furtively back to see what marching bands do. So if we read that clue backwards, we've got pets, peek, backwards. So favourites are pets. Look furtively is to peek, put it backwards, and when you return that, you get what marching band must do, which is to keep step. That's clever. Some brambles, tall Ruth's, one stocking. So I guess one stocking must be a storer. I have never heard the word. So fair enough. Hidden words. Some is a very good hidden word indicator. It comes up a lot, probably 2 or 3 times a week at the minimum. So hidden away in brambles, tall Ruths. We've got storer. I don't mind hidden words so much or words I don't know when they're hidden words. Firmly maintain. So you insist on something you firmly maintain. It's wrong is ITS. And it's omitting a mortal sin, so an anagram of sin now. Going into that, so omitted into. It's wrong. Mortal as an anagram indicator, not sure about that one. Bit but there you go. One who has deserted, so apostate. Word I've heard vaguely in the past. Don't really know it though. Definitely couldn't have told you it means someone who's deserted. And we've got A, PO for post office, and state, if you state something, you say it. Valley is dale. Return of English lad, so we've got English youth, we've got E, lad, going backwards. No hawk, so something that isn't a hawk is a dove, I suppose. And swooped in America, American word for swooped is dove. You dived into something. Americans say you dove. How tithe gets distributed. So we've got white hot is an anagram of how tithe, and intensely passionate is white hot. Not so fair. So if you think about hair colour, so if you're not as fair as someone else, you're darker. A challenger is a darer, trapping the king. So put a K into it, you get to darker. Reduce amount of education we hear, so we've got a sound like of an amount of education, so a lesson. Sound like of that is lesson. On to the downs. So a girl, in this case is Diane, and she's in the Isle of Man, the IOM, and a peculiar way of speaking is an idiom. A fantasist is a dreamer. Rearmed is an anagram of dreamer, and exchanges is telling you that there's an anagram involved. If you manage something, you run it, and if you flee, you run. Double def. Drink with snake bite. So, drink with cider is snake bite. So, you mix. I can't remember what it was now. I mean, this is like when I first started going drinking at the end of the 80s, early 90s. Snake bite was, I think, a pint of half a cider and half of normal pint, half a lager gives you snake bite. A nip of something poisonous is a snake bite. Snakes are generally poisonous. There's a question mark on there because not all snakes are poisonous. Some are constrictors. Colleagues filling shop, possibly. So we've got another hidden word here. Oppos in that. Colleagues as oppos. I've not come across. Filling is the hidden word indicator. Colleagues. I can't even think why that's colleagues, but that's the answer. Samples, last of fragrance. So we've got last of fragrant is T, last letter of fragrant, and flowers are asters. Samples are tasters. A worker, confused, is an anagram. About Anne, so there's the Anne, so put a worker around Anne to get to an old conflict, which is the Korean War. Here's a good alternate letter one though. Odd bits, so odd bits is saying you take the alternate letters from that poison chap, so Tapioca, and tapioca is a pudding ingredient. Melancholy is sadness. The elite troops are the SAS, and they are holding post up. So if you look in there, you've got, if you post something, you send it, and it's going upwards to get to sadness. If you utter, you speak, and chaos at the end. So take the S of chaos and put it before a climax, which is a peak. You get speak. Going places. So in this case, yeah, toilets are going places, places that you go, where you go, and lose is a type of toilet, so to speak. Toilets, lose, and put an E on the end gives you loose, which is something that's free, is loose. Rope's loose, it's flapping around. Bad is ill, and to leave, you know, if you leave someone's stuff in your will, take off the W for wife, gives you ill. So there we go, all done. 2316. Wow. I have no idea what the theme to that is, or Nina, but I can see that, yeah, there's almost certainly one there, because words like storer, apostate, they've been shoved in there to try and get certain letters into certain places to do that. Now typically what you'd see if you're looking for that Nina is the words in the top line, the words in the bottom line. Kinder Scouts, I think Kinder Scouts a place, isn't it? Darker lesson. I'm going to just go and Google Kinder Scout quickly, because I think it's a place, it's a mountainous place, isn't it? Kinder Scout, there you are. It's a place. Right, so there's something going on there. Go back to the Times. There we are. So I don't quite know what Kinder Scout is, but that's something to, pass is something to do with Hibernia Pass, probably. Dale. So there's some, looks like there are some places in the Lake District or something going on there. Hibernia Pass, probably. I'm not going to dig into too far. There's a peak. Yeah, I don't know too much about these things. So hope you enjoyed that. Let me know. Let me know if you can figure out the Nina and all the things you can see in it. Hope you managed to figure out Dove like I did eventually. And thank you for watching.